All right, YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy RGP Ace, and I'm back again with another video. And this time around, we have a FIU rebuild. You know, we had to do a total rebrand for CFB 26. And I was thinking around, like, I didn't know where I wanted to put my rebuild this year. And I don't know, FIU just seemed like the perfect school. Is in Miami, doesn't really get a lot of love, so it can still draw those top recruits in. And being completely honest, that's gonna be my number one pitch to these recruits is we're in Miami, you're young, you know, you can go out to the beach if you want to, you know, you can still have that life outside of football. The main thing is going to be football. You know, I'm going to be a tough-nosed coach. I want to make sure our students are, you know, trying to bring this program in the right direction, but our main pitch is going to be the location of the school. And as you can see, over the past, 20 years, FIU has only had 4 winning seasons. So definitely going to be an uphill journey for us coming forward, and definitely went with the recruiter build archetype for the coach. Like I said, gonna be swinging, you know, throwing out all crazy kind of offers to these recruits, you know, in this NIL age. And then also I have been seeing the transfer portal is going to play a big role in CFB 26. You know, in 25, the transfer portal, you didn't have a lot of big names coming in that transfer portal, but in 26 so far, a lot of big names have been hitting those transfer portals. And what I want to do off rip, just go ahead and narrow my search down. Only going to be looking at players that have us in their top 3 right now. Maybe as the season progresses, honestly, probably not even this year, probably next year, then we can try to target some of those 4 stars, maybe some 5 stars that are not interested in us, and try to get them to flip. But to start off, definitely only going to target teams that have us, or players that have us in their top 3 schools. And the reason why I want to do it this way is just to make sure we don't strike out on recruits, because this year, like I said, the transfer portal is so crazy, guys. I've seen rebuilds where people are losing 36 players in one offseason. You know, a couple are going to the draft, but you got a majority of them, like 24, 25 players hitting the transfer portal. So you're gonna have a big gap if you're not recruiting well. And what I can be a downside to some people, that's a really big upside to me, because I love it. It makes you have more emphasis on that recruiting now that we're doing these rebuilds. It makes it more tedious for these rebuilds, because it got to a point on 25 where it was, I don't want to say it was easy, but it was not a challenge, you know, to rebuild schools. You didn't have to put a lot into recruiting. Now you're gonna need to put a lot into your recruiting if you are trying to do a rebuild. Even if you're at a big name school, you're gonna have to do a lot of recruiting, because like I said, you're gonna be losing people. You're gonna have players that are hitting that transfer portal every season. But that's enough of me rambling about the game. Let's jump into this gameplay. As you can see, got my recruiting board up, looking at all the prospects on the list. I already narrowed it down, like you saw earlier, to players that have us in their top 3 schools. A lot of 2 stars, a couple 3 stars sprinkled in here and there. But at the top, you can see I'm mainly focusing on going what it's saying our school needs. So we need a quarterback. I got 2. We needed some outside linebackers. I went and got 6 outside linebackers and put them on the board. And our first 2, oh, there we go. We got a gem. Our first 2 players that we ended up scouting were not gems. And I see we got Lowry. He's going to be our first gem of the season. So go ahead and put him at the top of our recruiting board, just to make sure he doesn't get lost in the shuffle. Definitely a big focus is going to be put on Lowry. And as you can see, I did put a 5-star, you know, on my board, and he happened to be a 5-star gem. So Blade and Lowry are going to be 2 of our top priorities this season. And we already got Sams. He cut us out. Lowry, he narrowed it down to his top 8 schools. He still got us number 1. And as you can see, we got a lot of players that bite hit the transfer portal. It's a lot of red on that screen. Good thing about that is it's a lot of red on my screen. I know it's going to be a lot of red on other schools as well. So if I do miss out, other schools are going to miss out too. They're going to lose some of their top players. So we're going to have to hit hard in the transfer portal. The transfer portal is looking like it's going to be a key this game. And I'm really loving that, because honestly, in real life, the transfer portal is going to be crazy. You know, last year in 25, I get it. It was the first time this game has been out in over a decade. So, you know, you had those hiccups and stuff everywhere. But now I love how it's going to be a dogfight in that transfer portal. And our 3-star Kumar, his interest in us went down to 4th. We're going to advance the week. Gooch, he narrowed down some more. He's got us number 1. And then we lost out on some linebackers. Really, all those linebackers we just lost out on. I put 6 on the board, so he lost out on about 4 of them. Gonna have to hit that prospect list again and get some more recruits added at that linebacker position. And good thing about it, it looks like we're trending well on everybody that we do still have on our recruiting board. And surprisingly, we have that 5-star Blade. He's got us 2 now on his interest list, and that would be a crazy signing in year 1 if we can get a 5-star gem to commit to FIU. So we're gonna go ahead and put him at the top of our board. Got him above McGraw, cornerback, 4-star. We still got Lowry, that left guard, Hatch, Brady, and Emmanuel the second to round our top 5. Probably gonna move Emmanuel down just because he's a punter, and I don't really have any hours allocated to him right now. I'm gonna go ahead and scout Ash's social media. Let's go ahead and move Brady up some on our board. Lowry, I'm gonna move him up as well just because he's a gem. Honestly, I'm gonna put him above the 4-star McGraw. Like I said, he's a gem, so basically he is a 4-star, so I definitely want to keep an eye on those 2 gems. Got them at the top of my recruiting board for now. And this week I only got 25 hours allocated to Lowry, just contacting his friends and family. And I got Toomer. Looks like we got a deal breaker on him. Playing time is a D. One thing I've noticed about playing time this year, the more recruits you add at that same position is gonna lower your grade for playing time. So say if I took another recruit off of playing time that was a running back for Toomer, that would increase his grade. So if we go from a D to maybe a C- or a C. At the quarterback position, we're pretty solid right now. We got a junior, Keon Jenkins, about a 79 overall. The good thing about him is he does have a lot of upside, good promise. In one of the dynasties I saw, he did win the Heisman in year 1. So I'm going to keep an eye on Keon. Running back, kind of iffy. Definitely going to need to fill a void there. We do have 2 70-plus overall running backs that are sophomores. So if we can develop them the right way, hopefully they can be, not stars, but key contributors to this team. Wide receiver room looks very, very, very crazy. Only have 1 player that's a 90-plus overall in the speed. So definitely going to need to get some speedsters this year in the recruiting. Left tackle, I'm not really worried about it, but left guard, going to be a big hole there. I do got 3 freshmen, Deal and Garcia. Let's see how they can progress. Hopefully year 2, they can kind of take a step, be around low 70 overall. That center position is definitely a big void that we have. Right tackle, we're in a good spot. So our 2 tackles are in pretty decent spots. Definitely going to need to target some guards and some centers as well. Definitely a lot of centers. Probably at least 2 to 3 centers we're going to need to target this year. The edges, both left and right, we're pretty stacked. Got a freshman red shirt that's our starting right edge. So definitely looking good as far as the edge is concerned. Going to need some linebackers. Definitely a strong side linebacker. Our Sam, he's a junior, 65 overall. Our Mike linebacker, Cheney, is a 75 overall, but he is also a senior. And then in the secondary, we got 2 upperclassmen starting. Blaze the second, he's our number 1 back. He's an 85 overall senior. Gonna have to replace him. And then as we go down, kind of got a decent, repertoire of guys that can come and, follow him. And as we get into the safeties, we got 2 juniors, 72 and 71 overall. And for our strong safety, we got Demetrius Hill, 73 overall, red shirt junior. All right, so we got a rough update, look at our team. Now it's time to hop into the gameplay. We in Miami, guys, so I gotta be rocking a cutoff. First game of the 2025 college football season. It's always a good thing to start your season at home opener, against an FCS opponent, so you can kind of showcase your skills, see your areas of opportunities that you have, and kind of work on those during the game. But here it goes. First game against the FCS Southeast groupers, and they're going to kick the ball off to us to start the season. So, we got this stadium rocking. Everybody's rocking. Everybody's coming out showing love to the Panthers. And as you can see, our impact players of the game, Blaze and Owens. If you learn one thing about my rebuild from last year, the Georgia State rebuild, if you haven't watched it, check it out. But if you learn one thing about me, I love to use the running backs. I love to use them running. I love to use them catching the ball outside of the backfield, everything. And to top it off, Owens is a star. You see, he got the star on him, so he's definitely going to be used like crazy. He's going to be the workhorse. Just like Brock was at Georgia State, that's what Owens is going to be here at Florida International. As you can see, running in the gun formation, scrambling outside the pocket, and he hits Owens. Like I said, right on cue. Definitely might try to get the Heisman with Owens this year. I see it can be done. Like I said, the quarterback, I saw him win Heisman in another dynasty in the first year. It's a spotlight on this conference, so it's not impossible to have a Heisman come out of this conference. So my goal for this year, besides, signing all the recruits and stuff, as far as on-field play, is to get Owens a Heisman. In this scheme, FIU, they like to run a 4-2-5. I'm not really familiar with the 4-2-5 scheme, so we'll see how it works out for us this year. If it's kind of, looking iffy for us, we might change it going into year 2, but probably for year 1, definitely just going to rock out with just 4-2-5. But at the end of the first quarter, we got us up 7-0. Crazy lighting switch, by the way. We went from sun up. Now that the quarter's over, it's completely no sun. It's past sunset. It's dark outside now. And those green flames that's under the quarterback and under the running back, I'm not sure what they are. I guess that means they got a certain attribute or skill set activated. I don't know. I got to do some more digging into that. But Owens tried to hurdle that defender. He got caught in the air and put down on his back. But deep throw by the quarterback, and we're getting in for the first passing touchdown of the season. We do it big down here at FIU. First of many, hopefully. You know how we rock. And that's a step in the right direction for the Jenkins for Heisman campaign. Sidebar here. You know how they said, the team that gets the more teams are played with in CFB, the more is available for their NIL fund. I wonder, if you win Heisman with certain teams, is that going to be a boost as well, or can you just have, ass games with teams and it doesn't matter just as long as they're being played with, and their NIL fund is depositing? That's something that I think would be more beneficial. Is if you're doing good with that team, they should get more money rather than if you're doing ass with a team. I know, hey, you're gonna have Missouri State going up against Georgia, right? You're gonna have those, and you want to kind of offset it, kind of keep it balanced, and give both of them their fair share of the NIL deal. But I'm not all for equality. If you're getting your ass kicked with Missouri State, it doesn't matter. I could just put it on and just walk away and just have it running, and it's still going to the NIL fund. But hey, what do I know? It'll never be parity in anything. That's just life. But we'll see how it goes. And as I say that, Jenkins gets another touchdown, and salute from Owens as he knows his Heisman campaign is well underway. So we're 2 seconds into CFB 26, and I'm already giving up a huge QB scramble. I struggled with that big in CFB 25, and it looks like that's going to be my Achilles heel again this year on 26. I don't know, guys. It's just tough for me to make an adjustment to that. So if you got any, they both went up for it, and I just got mossed. That was the true definition of moss. I just got mossed by an FCS Southeast grouper. Let that sink in. And they go for the option play. He tries to pitch it, but he gets knocked out and it's a fumble. Horrible spot to try to, do a pitch in that tight window. But as you see, we're going into the third quarter, 21-0. Matter of fact, make that 28-0 as Owens did a little cutback and made it all the way to the end zone. Season definitely starting off right. Got about 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Now let's see if we can get another stop, get this powerful offense back onto the field. 3rd and 5, he hits his running back out the backfield, and he gets the first down and pushes it deeper into our territory. Let's fast forward again. We got a 3rd and 7. No way they get this right. Sending their slot in motion, fake the handoff, and we got him in the backfield. Definitely swarmed to him. 4th and 7. He's going for a long field goal. And honestly, if he even gets it close, he needs to be in a wow. Okay, so he got it. That he just kicked the ball that far. Regardless of what, I would rather have him in a D1 FBS program, because if you have a leg like that, we can work on your accuracy. They need to fix that with the FCS schools. There's no way a FCS kicker should be kicking the ball that far. Right now we got it on the 25-yard line in their territory. Let's see if we can keep pushing. We got my receiver on a slant route, and he breaks the tackle, gets all the way down inside of the 5-yard line. Right now we got on the 1-yard line. It's handed off to Owens. Owens dove in and he fumbled the ball, but we got it recovered by our lineman, and he gets in for the touchdown. And he does the pump fake. Yeah, do your dance, big fella, do your dance, because you, my good sir, will probably never score another touchdown like that again. And they go with the screenplay. I missed the tackle, but our lineman is right there to clean it up. 3rd and 13, 4 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter, and deep in their own territory, and they're not getting anywhere. 4th and 15. Let's get the ball back. Got about 2 minutes left. 35-0. Let's see what we can drop real quick, and I'm going deep. Jenkins wants it, and he gets it. His receiver burns him all the way down. Tremendous throw by Jenkins, and what a tremendous way to start off your Heisman campaign. And I'm just letting everybody know now, regardless of Jenkins or Owens, whichever one of them scores, I'm always going to say, look, you're setting up your Heisman campaign, because that's my goal. Somebody on this team has to win the Heisman. I need a Heisman year one, and I also need to sign that 5-star recruit year one. We get the ball back, about 30 seconds left to go in the game. Don't really feel like, going crazy on the FCS Heisman. If it was an FBS, of course, I'd go crazy. But as you see, 7-14, then 7 and 14 again, player of the game. And there you have it. First game of the FIU rebuild is a shutout and a blowout. We win in dramatic fashion. A win is a win. Great job on the defense. Great job from the offense. Definitely great job from Jenkins. I personally feel like he could have went and got player of the game as well, but they wanted to give it to Owens. Either one was more than deserving to get it this game. Just going to take a look at the schedule really quick. We got Penn State, number 2, next week. Going to be a tough one. Then we got Florida Atlantic, followed by Delaware. Then we got a bye week. Then we'll go up to UConn. Then we got Western Kentucky on the road. Kennesaw State's coming down to Miami. Then we got Missouri State going to Missouri State. Interested to see what their stadium looks like. Newest team added to CFB. Then followed by that, we're going up to Middle Tennessee. Then we round off the schedule with some conference games. Lowry, he's going up again, top 5. Still got us number 1. Myers, he just reached his top 5 schools. He's got a second. Blade, the 5-star, he just reached his top 8 schools, and he still has us second. We did lose out on both of our 4 stars that we were going after, McGraw and Makuso, I believe is how you pronounce the name. They both decided, hey, FIU's not for me. Then a couple of 3 stars, they decided their top 8 schools, and we were number 1 on them. So just got to finish out the year strong with them, just keep putting hours to them, and then we'll be able to hopefully sign them and sign a couple more of these players. As you can see, still got 50 hours allocated to Blade. Outside of that, not too much is changing. Let's go ahead and hop into our week 2 game against number 2 Penn State Nittany Lions, and we are on the road in Penn State, so you know that stadium post is going to be crazy. Look at this Penn State display. This is crazy. I like the S. That looked like the S that that we drew when we were younger. You drew the 3 lines up top, then you drew the 3 lines on the bottom, and then you just connected them to make that S. That's what that S just looked like on the Penn State. But wow, this stadium, man, is packed. Oh, they're letting the Lions loose. It's atmospheric. Oh, they're running out. Oh, their coach. Every time I see their coach, I remember that video. I think he was doing an interview, and then out of nowhere, he just took off from the end zone and ran into the sidelines. Ever since that day, he's always been my favorite coach, and his run was just so funny that it's always just stuck with me. He just ran so textbook. His arms were stiff and just straight, like his legs were just long strides. It was crazy. Let's get underway. Back-to-back weeks, we get the opening kickoff. Let's see what we can do with this return. Definitely gonna bring it out. Don't want to. I probably should have stayed in. Hey, still up north in Pennsylvania, still rocking the cutoffs. As you see, last week, wide receiver Alex Perry, 130 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. That's number 4. This guy that was going crazy for us last week. First play of the game for us. We're going to hand it off to Owens. Gets stopped, doesn't go for a gain. Stadium post is already rocking, but surprisingly able to successfully do a hot route, and it doesn't really matter. We get sacked, can't get a playoff. None of the receivers got open. But yeah, stadium post is going crazy now. I'm still able to do some autos at the line of scrimmage, which is surprising. I know last year, whenever the stadium post was rocking, it was damn near impossible, to get an audible off. Surprisingly, that's one thing I did like about last year. So hopefully Jenkins is just really good and it doesn't affect him, because I know they got an ability where it's minimal, your effect that the stadium post has on you is real minimal. Alar last week, he threw for 323 yards. So some of my players had big games last week. He had a big game last week. Something's got to give, and it looks like Alar might have another big game coming this week. Let's see if we can stop him. I brought down with the safety. He fits it in the tight coverage right there on that slant route. I'm gonna bring the blitz with the linebacker, see if that can throw him off a little bit, and it doesn't, because he just runs a screen to the outside, and what a move by that wide receiver. So Penn State's opening drive and not looking too good for us. They're marching down the field now. I'm trying to change my camera. I get caught in between trying to change camera angles. Hits number 2 again. He walks in for the first touchdown of the game for Penn State. Right now we got Jenkins in the gun. Let's see what we can do. Got Owens on the out route coming out the backfield. Goes for a big gain and gained about 15 yards. Second catch of the game for him, 26 receiving yards on the day. Let's see what we can do. Working out the gun again, Jenkins. I can't see my X receiver. He's got that question. I tried to hit him on a comeback. Throws his first pick of the year. Owens tries to make the tackle, but he bounces off. It's going to take a hit to our Heisman ratings. Oh, let's see if the defense can answer, and they do. Great stop. Goes for a gain of nothing. Loss of 3, though. Let's fast forward. 3rd and 16. Let's see if we can get a great stop. Give Jenkins back the confidence that he needs. Oh, yeah, we're going to get him. Great job right there for our defense. Don't put any points on the board after allowing that interception. The biggest key for us now is going to be making sure we get some type of points put on the board. Either a touchdown, field goal, whatever. We just need to get some type of points just so we get some momentum going in our direction. And as I say that, he drops a 3rd down pass. So we don't get any type of momentum on that drive, so they get the ball right back. Drew LR does a fake handoff, then goes for about 20 yards. Oh, wow. This is going to be a long game for us. So right now, they're right outside the red zone on the 25-yard line. Let's see what we can do. Do a fake handoff. He's open in the flat, but yeah, they don't pass it to him. So, okay, so great job. They got the ball on our side of the field. We were able to hold them to a field goal, right? So our defense is doing their part. This defense is really amazing that we have. They are R1 wide open. Why does he not throw it to him? Jenkins throws another pick, second pick of the game for Jenkins. That was tough. Honestly, he should have hit him before he even ran outside of the. He should have hit him before he ran outside of the pocket. So Penn State gets the ball. Crazy field position for them. And they do another bubble screen, and it looks like they're going to get all the way into the end zone for another touchdown. Now Penn State is up 17-0 with about 2 minutes left in the second quarter. We got to do something right here. Jenkins is completely stalled out. Let's hand it off to Owens. He gets us a first down. We're going to take us into that 2-minute warning. Now we got an empty set. Owens is lined up on that far left side doing an out route. We got a receiver wide open across the middle. He hits him, goes for a first down. 3rd and 22. Let's just try to get some yards. Doesn't look like he's going to go anywhere. Just hit him out the backfield. We already lost enough yards. Penn State calls a timeout. 24 seconds left. They shouldn't be able to do anything. We can stop them so they don't put any points on the board because they still got it deep in their own territory. So just get a stop right here. And he's, great stop. Oh, man. You know what's crazy? LSU is known for wide receivers. Alabama is known for defensive backs. Georgia's known for defensive linemen. Penn State's got to be known for their running backs because what their running back was just about to do would have been crazy if he would have ran all the way to the end zone. Now they're pushing up the field, doing it with their running back still. And it's crazy because both of their running backs, I believe this guy that they just hit out the backfield is a running back as well. But both of their running backs have the star under their name. Still not completely sure what the star means. I know last year in CFP 25, people were saying anybody over a 90 overall is going to have the star under them. But I had players that were 95, 94 overall with no star. I had players that had, Hall of Fame purple badges, still didn't have a star. So I don't know what the criteria is that grants a player a star under their name. And they do the fake handoff into the end zone for another touchdown. Now they're up 24-0. So it's kind of like the same way that we just did FCS last week. That's how Penn State is doing us this weekend. Literally the same. It's up 24-0. It's no way we can get shut out by Penn State. It's no way we get shut out. We got to get some type of points on the board because our defense, although they gave up 24 points, our defense is doing amazing so far. Let me take that back. I don't want to say amazing, but they are doing a really good job. Let's see Jenkins try to scramble outside of the pocket. He doesn't get it, and he goes down with an injury. What are they saying? He got an elbow burst. Let's put him back into the game. We need you, buddy. We got to get some type of points. I can't rock out with my backup when we have 0 points on the board. Honestly, I probably should rock out with my backup since we have 0 points on the board in the fourth quarter. So that means somebody is not doing something somewhere. But, I want to keep my faith in my Heisman hopeful quarterback. So I'm going to keep him in the game. Because hopefully he can get some points right now. Got us deep inside of the red zone. Let's see what we can do. 4th and goal, and it hits the receiver's hands and then falls out. He doesn't catch it. So we still have 0 points on the board. All right, let's in the house. Let's try to get a safety. Last play of the game. We need some type of points. Let's go. He's in the house. Oh, and he hits this guy. This receiver's gone. No, we're going to stop him. But wow, we just got shut out 24-0. That's crazy. Our defense played a hell of a game. 7 points, 10 points, 7 points again. The offense just didn't do his part. And Drew LR, 87%, only 178 passing yards. So like I said, the defense wasn't the problem. Is the offense was unable to put any type of points on the board to give him any type of help. So Alex Larry's top 5. Let's go ahead and schedule the visit for the week that we play Delaware. And the good thing about this game is it doesn't cost as much to do visits. So I know on 25 it was 40 flat for every visit. But what I'm seeing on this game, some visits are 10, some are 15, some are 25. I think the highest I've seen is 35. And I haven't been able to figure out, what makes each visit, cost differently. But it's a good thing to see that it's cheaper. It costs less points to get players on campuses. So I'm believing that these visits are going to have more of an impact, whether you win or lose on these games. Because I know in 25, you could have a visit come in, they could lose on the game, and it affected it somewhat, but it didn't really affect it. So here I'm thinking that these swings, if you lose a game where it visits here, is going to have a higher impact. And also in 25, we were able to get recruits and they didn't even have to touch the campus. So making it cheaper just makes it seem like visits are going to be really big, a big focus. And that's how it is in real life. You're not going to get a recruit if you don't have them come to the campus at least one time, and that's what was happening on 25. Me personally, I know when I was doing my rebuilds, a lot of the time the teams don't have a lot of hours. Cool. I'm not even worried about you coming on campus unless it's in a really, really tight race. Then I'll send them on campus just to get that extra boost. But 8 times out of 10, I'm not even offering to send a recruit to campus on a visit because it just didn't make sense. But now that it's cheaper, it seems like it's going to be a bigger impact. And right now I'm just going through looking at my recruiting board, seeing what changes have been made. Toomer, we got him. Well, he's got us number 1 now as his schools, and just kind of putting in any visits that I want to get scheduled. You see a lot of red. Most of these guys only have three green bars. So what I've been doing, I've been trying to sway them. So I see if you have two things that they like. If you only try to change one thing, you'll usually get that sway. I know in 25 the sway didn't really work, but now in 26 I'm seeing the sway is more prevalent. Overall, I think the biggest difference from 25 and 26 is not so standalone. Step away from the gameplay real quick. The biggest difference that I'm seeing from 25 and 26 is just recruiting aspect. The whole recruiting, it hasn't changed, but it's made it a lot simpler. Like, it looks a lot easier to read. You got the green, you got the red. Green means good, red means bad, whatever. And then on that prospect list, it kind of tells you what holes your team is going to have next season. Because last year on 25, when I was doing my rebuilds, a lot of the times I had to, write stuff down. Like, I know I have a senior left tackle. I got a junior right tackle, right guard. I got to fill a hole at my middle linebacker. He's a senior. He's leaving. I had to do that stuff. But enough of that, guys. This is the end of this video. Catch y'all later. Peace.
I've been finding peace, so beef and shit, I can't get in it.